Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm hoping to wrap this up from the last 2 or 3 episodes, and I think I have a way to do it. So maybe this will make the episode short. We'll see. But my idea is to do something like this: var can format value. And the only one that we can is if not, it doesn't require projection, and it's not parameter. Why would you do 2? Seriously, why would you do 2 is ref struct? I don't expose that. Well, I guess now is as good a time as any, right? Because I can say type is ref. Type kind is equal to type. Type kind is equal to, why are you not, we could say type kind dot ref. How do I know it's a ref struct? There's got to be a way to do this because I've already done it. And that's in here when I'm going through all the parameters, projection. I don't know why I'm calling that. Here we go. So it's not as stuff. So we're going to put that in there. We're going to say, so if it's not a ref struct, which the way we check to say if it's a ref struct is one of these things, and then so it can't require a projected argument, which would be pointers, which would be those special 3 types, which would be unmanaged function pointers, or it's one of these. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use that here. We're going to say we want to basically plop in what this should be right here. Actually, what this, okay, fine. It might be a little bit, if we can format the value, we do this. Else, we're going to say that parameter name is equal to, what do I want to say here? Not formatable. Or something like that. Kind of weak, but it's just basically saying I can't format the value. And in this case, maybe at some point for ref structs, I could do this and figure out a way to actually I get why for like pointers and those that you can't pass them in. And for a ref struct, you can't pass that into especially those things. So to me, it's just what word do I put here, or set of words? Maybe I just do 3 dashes. Something just to show that. That's fine. I think that's fine. It's fine. So now if I go to where did I have my test here? I had a test down here that this shouldn't have broken this test right here. That should still be fine because we get this and it passes. That's fine. And I think we're going to have, we're definitely going to have a lot of tests here with like projected function pointer and ref struct tests. And those will be things that I have to correct because these are suddenly going to change here. When we're getting a ref struct being passed into us and just saying not formatable. Would it be better to have something like that? Yeah, because we haven't broken a test yet. All right, we did our clean. I'm going to shut down and start up again and go to rocks. And hopefully this time I can actually run the integration test, because if I can run that integration test, then we are golden, more or less. So what happens if I say try to run this? Now the generated code shouldn't try to do what it was doing before. Yep, it succeeded, the build did, and the test failed, but it should because we don't have the right message there. The whole point is to grab this and say, but was this. So now if we say there is type of with message equal to, and now what we want to do is that. Let's see if that works. And that passes. Okay. You don't like this. Okay, that's fine. Because that is actually a char and that'll work just fine. But this one is, why don't you just go away? Yeah, expression value is never used. Work with data, they're both void. I don't know what you're complaining about. Whatever. I don't care. What is IDE 58? Remove unnecessary expression value. This rule is never used. Oh, I think I know what this is. Because work with data here is getting an adornments. I bet if I did this, yeah, it goes away. This is interesting with Fluent APIs because a Fluent API basically says for everything that you do, you return a value. And this one is just basically saying, I didn't want to set, because even if I did this, I bet if I go here and I go expected call count and I say 1, the same thing. It's like it doesn't, yeah, I don't like that. I do not like that. I don't like this because this one is, I get what it's trying to do, but it seems to really collide with Fluent APIs. So let's capture that just as a to-do note. IDE 0058 seems to collide with Fluent APIs. Okay, it doesn't stop me from doing what I'm doing. It just puts a red there, and I think that's something where I would go into an editor config, but I don't want to in this case. Like here, it's like, well, I don't want to start putting that everywhere. That just sucks, you know, that. But I also want to know in a lot of cases that I have skipped over a return value. And that's what I like about this, is because the discard is saying, I know I returned something and I am explicitly saying I don't care about it. So meh, ugly, but whatever. Okay, so I'm pretty good with this. The fact that this works now as expected. I do have a lot of unit tests to unbreak, but I'm pretty good with that. Actually, before I finish this episode, I'm just going to run the code generation tests. I'm only going to get like 8, I think, failures, and it's because of things I already know that are failing. So if this didn't break anything else, I think I'm good. So let me run that and let's see what that does. Okay, this is good. Again, these are the errors I would expect, and there's only 8 in total for the 2 that I know what the problems are. So that's good. That didn't break anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this up by spending about an hour going through all my tests, just the creates, not the makes, but just the creates, and changing them. I might off camera also shore this up a little bit and say, maybe what I do is create a object extension here that I can't do that. Well, I could, but that would require me to emit this code. What through my head is I could make a format value of T where T allows ref struct and then handle that code the way I want it to. But I can't. So I'm going to put a to-do in here. If I could project this code at, like I do for ref struct argument, I might be able to do a format value of T, this T self, where T allows ref struct. And I can't because this is .NET Standard 2.0. That's why I have to do the thing I do for rest struct argument, because I can't actually put that in my code. I could then make a format value that does the same thing, but then I'd have to project this whole thing out. And I don't want to do that. So not right now. I might do that later because I talked about basically taking all public code and doing that thing where I write out the code when the source generator starts up, that first time pass. And then I could include that in there. That gives me greater flexibility in terms of what the source generator can do. But the reason I'm putting that off as another task deferred to the future is because that would be a fair amount of work to pull out everything that I could possibly need. So in any event, I'll keep it this way right now. And this is fine because this works. This will catch it and not, say it's not formattable. And then I can always come back in here later and improve this with better values. But for now, this just shows what I need, and that should be good enough. And if this character screws up with something that I'm not expecting, that can't be within a string, but it's string content, it should be fine. It should be fine. So I'm going to clean all that up and then make a commit and close this issue out. The next one to work on is static abstract members and interfaces. In fact, if you see here, that's the next one on the list in terms of prioritization. I want to get that done, and then hopefully these two bugs that I know about done. And hopefully I don't introduce a lot of bugs with this one. This one's going to be a fair amount of work. There's absolutely no doubt about that. And I'm going to think about this over the next couple of days because I'm on vacation. I'm flying to Canada tomorrow. I'm going to be speaking at Prairie DevCon. And so I'm flying up there tomorrow, and then I'm just staying there for a day because I get back Monday night. Then Tuesday, my older son and I are driving to Rochester to go see Judas Priest and Sabaton play. And we're staying overnight there. And so then I come back on Wednesday. I have like a couple of days then, Wednesday, Thursday at home. And then Friday, when my wife gets back from work, we're going to get a hotel for 2 nights and have dinner Saturday night. We do that for a celebration of our wedding anniversary. It was my 27th wedding anniversary yesterday, and we're going to be doing the celebration next week. So the point of why I bring this all up is that I'm on vacation, but I'm also going to be traveling around here and there. So I'm going to mull on a couple of things with static abstract members, and just and think about too how I want to do that as video content. I may want to actually stream some of this. I'm not sure. There's like one thing that I'm for some reason concerned about, and that's async locals. If I can't handle async locals correctly with expectations, I don't have a hope of supporting this. There's just no way. I can't do then what I needed to do. Or I'm just like, or I kind of have to makeify, for lack of a better term, any static abstract members onto the mock type. And say if you want to implement add, it will just literally call add on the 2 things that are coming in. But I don't really know if those 2 things are addable. I don't know. I don't remember if that's the way it works. I don't know. So there's a lot of unanswered questions there. But the thing that I want from Rocks is to say, give me a type that can be inherited from and has members that I can implement, I should be able to give you a mock of that type. And static abstract members is the one that I know of right now that I can't, along with these 2 errors. They're technically, if you have a nested generic, if you have a type within a nested generic, I don't handle that correctly. And I don't know what I'm going to do to get around that. There's going to be something I have to do, but I don't know what that is yet. So it's getting near the end of September. There's going to be a 9.0 release for .NET in a couple months. That doesn't force me to get any of these done, but I would really like to get this in for .NET 9. So we'll see. In any event, I think this issue is closed. So we'll see if I make episodes or do live streams on some of these issues in the future. Thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next episode.